if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can't sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiffani Beaston from Beauty and the Beastons, and I upload twice a week. Today I'm taking you, I guess, my 5:45 a.m. to a 5 p.m. in my day. I do spend a lot of time in the kitchen today because that's just how life is going. We're going to be cooking some delicious meals and preparing a cake for my son's birthday party. But first I'm taking my thyroid medicine, giving the puppy a little treat, and then we're heading down to work out. So I'm going to be taking you through my workout today. I have been really loving the Ladder app. It's awesome. I'm going to talk about it more in depth once I, continue doing it for longer, but this was my second workout on that new app. I love that they have like a really nice stretch in the beginning and a cool down at the end, but we're doing a lot of legs today. It's like a lower body workout. And let me just tell you guys, you're never going to have motivation to work out. It's more about discipline. And that's just that. You have to think about it. You're not going to have the motivation to work out, but you have to have the discipline to work out. And also, I promise, once you're consistent with it, not only will your body crave it, but when you start to see your body changing, it makes you feel inspired to keep going, to see how much better you can feel. I feel like we're going to be split on this one, but are you a wedding ring girl or not? Like, if you're married, do you wear your rings? I know that sounds awful to some people to not wear your rings, and then I have some girlfriends that literally just don't like wearing their wedding ring. I wear my rings all the time. I feel absolutely naked without them. It's just like feels really weird, unless I'm doing like sunless tanner or something like that, of course. But since I do wear my rings all the time, I was getting calluses on my hands, like even worse than I normally would from my weights. So I did go ahead and buy a pair of gloves, and I highly recommend it. At first I was like, wow, I look like such a meathead, like a dork, but I don't care. My hands are nice. Now also, I just want to mention, if you've never done a Bulgarian split squat, they are very challenging and they are very easy to mess up and do the wrong position. So that's why I was taking it nice and slow, just really focusing on my form and really trying to feel it in my glutes and not my quads. So I love a good leg day. I feel like I was focusing a little too much on arms, and now I'm trying to do legs more like as a first priority and then arms. But this move, I forget what it's called, like a Copenhagen something, but it was so challenging. It looks like you're just like hanging from the bench, which you basically are, but it takes a lot of strength. So now we are just doing our cool down before we head upstairs and finish our morning routine. So we are back upstairs from our workout, and before I get any further into today's video, I want to thank Wild Grain for sponsoring this portion. Wild Grain has been a huge blessing for us because we are gluten-free, and it's hard to find good gluten-free products that don't have a bunch of weird ingredients in them. Plus, I love that it comes frozen straight to your door and you can bake your own fresh bread. Wild Grain is so much more than bread though, and they also have non-gluten-free options, but I just wanted to point out the gluten-free option because it is really rare to come by. Wild Grain is actually the first ever Bake from Frozen subscription box for sourdough bread, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries. So I'm just trying to show you the packaging here so you can see the amazing ingredients and also the nutrition facts. I love that there's only 1 gram of added sugar in this, and that there's not a huge list of ingredients. So right now I'm just making a slow fermented seeded loaf. I love that just cozy feeling of baking homemade bread, but obviously this is so much easier since it comes frozen. I just pulled it right out of the freezer and we'll pop it into the oven. So I know there's a lot of sourdough girlies out there. I failed miserably at making my own sourdough. It was gluten-free and I just failed miserably, so I cannot wait to get my sourdough bread in the mail. They have a gluten-free sourdough, but look at this bread, is delicious as well. But unlike typical supermarket bread, Wild Grain uses a slow fermentation process so that it's easier on your belly, richer in nutrients and antioxidants, plus they can help lower blood sugar spikes. This bread was so good. It was perfectly crunchy on the outside and nice and moist inside. As you can see, I'm trying to get a close-up of the texture just so you can see how delicious it actually is. But we love the convenience of it. Freezer to table in 25 minutes. Every item bakes in 25 minutes or less, so you can enjoy homemade quality whenever you'd like. Plus, you can build your own box so you never get bored. I thought these rolls were so good that I actually went back to make sure they were gluten-free. That's how good they were. And don't even get me started on these cookies. Again, all gluten-free, which again, if you're gluten-free, it's very exciting. They did not taste gluten-free in any way. I know I have some vegan friends on here too, and they do have a new 100% plant-based box if you want to check that out as well. If you want to check out Wild Green, be sure to click on my link in the description box and use my code TheBeastons to get $30 off of your first box, plus you'll get free croissants in every box. So delicious. But moving on to doing Evie's hair before school. She's having an Eagles themed day for the Super Bowl, of course. But I also wanted to tell you one more thing about Wild Green is that I'm actually making a crock pot chicken and tortellini dish tonight using their frozen gluten-free tortellini. So stay tuned to see how that comes out. Do you get hyper fixated on meals? I know it's like a trend, but it's actually like a genuine thing as well. Like you really like a meal and then you have it for a while until you're sick of it. Well, right now mine are still those cottage cheese pancakes I made in my meal prep video because they are just so cozy. Like I feel like pancakes are such a cozy comfort food, but I also love that there's protein in it. You can't taste cottage cheese in any way. But it does have like a really nice cinnamon and vanilla flavor to it. So I've been loving that with 2 pieces of turkey bacon. And then I have, I think it's 3 egg whites. When I use the liquid egg whites that come in the carton that you saw, I measure a little bit over a half a cup and then just a little bit of maple syrup, and it's such a delicious combination. So I like them also because I can meal prep them ahead of time and just when I make them, I think it gives me 3 mornings of pancakes. And then I'm also just cutting up some grapefruit for Tanner. Do you guys like grapefruit? I am not a grapefruit girl. One time when I was like pregnant with one of my kids, I liked it. But Tanner loves grapefruit. Nobody else in the family does, but I always make sure I have grapefruit on hand for my Tan Man. So Tanner is getting over being sick, and he just still was like really swollen under his eyes and didn't sleep well, so he's having a day at home with mom. I'm sure he can relate. I even saw I think some schools in New York and Texas are closed because there is norovirus, there's flu, there's RSV, and the kids are just so sick everywhere. So I hope that your family is feeling well, but we've all been struggling. Also, a while back on screen, I did put the macronutrients for my breakfast if you're interested. I do a lot of videos like that showing the protein and all of the macronutrients in the recipes that I'm making. I try to eat high protein, and as you saw, that breakfast was 40 grams of protein, which is a great way to start your day. But now we're on to all of our beverages. I drink so many different beverages every day. I'm having AG1, and then I'm also having the Amra Colostrum, and I love the watermelon flavor, but I just try to get both in every day, especially as we mentioned the sickness. I feel like, knock on wood, I've been really blessed. The most I ever got was a stuffy nose and just feeling tired. I didn't get a fever or anything like that. So, we have 4 kids in and out of school and sports, so they bring lots of germs home. But anyway, I got my drinks in, I'm quickly planning, and then we're moving on with the rest of our day. That's why I know that I won't get you. Now we are putting on some good music, putting our headphones back in, and cleaning the kitchen and getting started on making Tanner's birthday cakes. We're having his family party on Saturday. We already had his friend party, which was a huge hit at the movie theater. We watched Sonic, and I think he had about 23 friends. Only a few had to cancel for being sick, but right now I have a lot of family members sick, so it's going to be a really small birthday party. I usually do big party prep videos, but I think I'm just going to do a short out of it, only because our weekend is full of lots of soccer. We have a event at the school tonight. There's just so much going on, so I can't focus on filming every little step, but I am going to do little clips here and there and make a short of his birthday party prep.
for your touch again. Maybe it will come a sunny day, a day when I forget.
Everything is wiped down and we're ready for our next mess. I don't know if you've ever made cakes at home, regardless if you're using box mix or not, but especially making homemade icing, which is a must for me now. Thank you all of you who inspired me to make my icing homemade. It's been years now. I won't go back because it just doesn't even compare. Plus, icing has like 45 ingredients, including like all crazy food colorings and things like that. I have been able to buy the natural food colorings from Amazon. This time I tried a new one, so we'll see how it comes out. I'm kind of scared. I think it's a powder, but I do have backup on hand. But anyway, it just makes a huge mess no matter how hard you try to be clean. But I do see people with like these covers that go on the bowl of the KitchenAid, and I need that because I make such a mess, as you'll see here in 2 seconds, anytime I mix anything in the KitchenAid.
Have to sing about you.
So this is my first time ever where one of my kids drew what they want their cake to be, and if it was going to be anybody, it's Tanner, because all my kids are like artistic and things like that, but he just really like is just an artist, and that's like what he loves to do. It's a huge talent. He's amazing. Here I am recording some stuff for my short, as you see this stuff just going everywhere. But he drew what he wanted his cake to look like, and I'm going to try to go ahead and make his dreams come true. It's definitely challenging. One thing about Tanner is that he always asks for like niche birthday parties, so like smaller scale characters and things that aren't super common to find decorations for is what I'm trying to say. Like for example, the girls want a unicorn party, Carter wants soccer, like so easy. But Tanner wanted, one birthday party was a Kato. That was really challenging to find stuff for that. And now he wants a digital circus birthday party, and that is not easy to find the stuff. So I'm making a lot of the stuff myself and just trying my best because it's not a super common birthday theme yet. A day where you feel like you don't leave the kitchen. Today was one of those days. Like you saw on my list, I was supposed to do laundry and do my closet and do all this stuff, but somehow I just didn't make it out of the kitchen all day, which is fine because we got a lot done. But I also was one of those days where I just felt like the dishes were never going to be done. And when I start to feel like this, I try to again put something on that I want to listen to or watch on my Alexa, but also like just try to remember, like, I'm grateful for these dishes. I'm grateful I have a family that uses them. You know, we're all here healthy together. You know, those kinds of things help when you're just in like the, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore mindset, because it does happen. We're all human and we feel like that. Of course, today I don't feel like standing here and just doing dishes all day, but you know, gotta be grateful. So while the chocolate cake was cooking, because he did say like he really wants the 1 part vanilla, 1 part chocolate, I'm going to put a picture on the screen here of what he drew up. I went ahead and like just like pre-filled the measuring cup with water, oil, eggs, like did all that to make it easier on us and just so I could put some more ingredients away. Always trying to like be ahead of the game or get more done in the amount of time that I have. And then if you're ever feeling your cakes are cooking more on the outside, not on the inside, just drape a little piece of foil over it, not super tight, like draped over. This was actually like an hour and a half later because I had to do some work on my computer and edit some stuff. But I really like to, I let my cakes cool in the pan for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I let them cool on the drying rack until I just like get around to wrapping them up, and then I'll put them in the freezer, and then the next day I will icing them. I just feel like it's easier, especially if you need to like cut off the top to make your cakes more even. That is just how I do my cakes. And now we're throwing dinner in the crock pot, which I told you was going to be a chicken tortellini soup. I will say I thought it was okay, but I won't be making it again. So just being 100% honest here. Obviously, like, I love a good crock pot meal just because, like, dinner's taken care of and basically cleaned up, and you can just move on with your day, which makes life so much easier, especially with kids and sports and after school activities in general, homework, just like you're needed, you can't be spending, at least I can't, a bunch of time cooking dinner every night. So I try to prep as much in advance as I can when the kids are at school. But this was good, just it's not something that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this again. I love my crock pot recipe. It's like the pesto chicken. I love that. Like, I would have much rather had that, and I'm wondering if next time I'll do that. But the tortellini itself was very good, especially because there's never like a good gluten-free cheese tortellini. So yeah, now you can see it's getting darker out already, and I am just cleaning everything up. Cleaning up my mess once again, and some more dishes here, cleaning up everything that we baked and helping Carter with his homework. In the meantime, I have my headphones in just like a low volume so I can still hear what's going on. But just doing some dishes by hand and putting whatever I can in the dishwasher, and again just cleaning up any messes before I make yet another mess, which is Carter loves my homemade people get mad that I call it ramen noodle soup or chicken ramen soup, but it's literally ramen noodles in chicken noodle soup. So don't be mad, just move on with your life. But that's what we call it, chicken ramen soup, because it's literally not chicken noodle, it's chicken ramen. But it's delicious and he loves it, and I feel like it's especially good this time of year. Finally, it's time to give the sink a good scrub because it's been through a lot today, just like me. And also, one of the plants fell in here while I was washing dishes, so that's what all the dirt is from. So I'm like, you know what? I have to clean this out anyway. We might as well give the sink a good scrub while we're here. Plus, I got a new sink scrub. I guess it's not just for sinks. It's by Scrub Daddy. I'm probably the last one to find it. But it says it's a natural cleaner, but it did have a fragrance to it, but not too bad that it bothered me. Because, I like to really use natural things and things that don't have synthetic fragrance in them, just because they give me migraines and they're bad for your endocrine system. But I do like the way that it cleaned this white sink, because it's hard with this white sink. I don't know if I would get it again. I love the way that it looks, but it's very high maintenance. Scratches show up very easily and it gets stained very easily. So on top of the scrub, I'm just using a lemon wedge to wipe it down as well. On to our next mess in the kitchen. As you can see, this is why I said it felt like a revolving door type of day, because we do make so many items fresh at home. Trust me, we have our nights out that we get food. My favorite thing to get takeout is I love the Poke Bros. I get a salmon bowl, and for my base I get half rice and half salad. It's so good. Or sushi. Those are my two favorite things to get out. The kids, let's see. Everly and Tanner and Ella like Chick-fil-A, and Carter and Chris, not that Chris is a kid, are Chipotle. So those are all, if we all had to pick where we're getting food from, that would be our choices.
You could say anything, but it could mean everything, 'cause you said it to the right person and they needed.
Now it's finally time to get the soup going. I just like to do butter with the onion first and let that caramelize and cook down, and then I add the rest of the veggies in.
But that's not your fault. Life's funny like that. You lose one thing, get another one back. You thought you knew, but it wasn't a fact. Known them your whole life, but it was all an act. There's no meaning, but like in the best of ways, you could go 100 days without really doing anything and still have the right to say, I'm so incredible.
Next, I use a lot of chicken broth, and then my secret ingredient, which really isn't that secret, is a thing of beef bone broth by Kettle on Fire. It adds so much protein, there's minerals in it, and it also gives it a great flavor. And for spices, I'm doing lots of salt, pepper, garlic. I did Italian seasoning because I'm out of thyme, but I usually like to do thyme in there. So yeah, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and some type of soup seasoning like either thyme or, again, if you're like me and you don't have that stuff, just use Italian seasoning. And then we get the big containers of these rice noodles from, I think it's by Lotus Food, but we get them from Costco because we go through them so often. I need to Everly helping me put them in. She really loves helping out in the kitchen, whether it's the cooking or, quote, washing dishes. Alright, crock pot meal is done. I'm just shredding the chicken. Unfortunately, I had to do it like on high for 2 hours. I meant to like slow cook it all day, but like the time just got away. You know how it is as a mom. Like things happen and you just can't do things the way that you meant to do or the way you planned to do, but you move on and you do it and you get it done. So I added a little bit of cream to this, heavy cream, as well as a block of cream cheese. We don't like to do that all the time. Once that was like nice and cooked in, I added our frozen tortellini from Wild Grains. It's very good, especially being gluten-free. Like we don't get to have stuff like that all the time. But anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Happy Friday. I hope it gave you some motivation. I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and I hope that you and your family are healthy. Be sure to come back on Tuesday. We're going to be doing a high protein Aldi meal prep.